Welcome back everyone to today's video. We are doing your second winter update of the season, and just be aware that the mic might be a little bit funny today as we have had some technical difficulties. But without further ado, we are going to get straight into this as we've had a lot of interesting data this week that I've found. Stick around to the end of the video because we will have a swingometer to summarise what I have seen in this update. So, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight into this. Here we go. Right, so we're going to start off with some of the latest GFS runs for, well, what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, as I have seen some quite interesting charts. So, if you don't already know, the high pressure is the orange, yellow, and red. Low pressure is the green and blue. So, we've currently got. Wait a minute. We aren't supposed to start there. There we go. Currently got high pressure over the country. We've got mild southwesterly coming up at the minute, but it is at the end of this run that we are focusing on. As you can see, we get high pressure starting to retrogress up towards Greenland, which is a sign in the winter of blocking that allows low pressure to drop in here and allows some northerly winds to enter the UK, which is what you want for some very cold conditions. And if we do look, we can see that actually by the end of this run we are setting up for sort of very cold spell. This is on Wednesday the 22nd of October. High pressure really centred over Greenland, Iceland. Low pressure dropping south of Europe. The cold front's just to the north of Scotland, and we are about to be unleashed into a very cold northerly wind, which is a very interesting sign, as the winter can sometimes reflect what is going to happen. The autumn can reflect what's going to happen into the winter. If we look, you can see the cold air building and starting to push towards the country. We're going to have a look at the midnight run now, and once again, it is a similar sort of setup. We are looking very interesting by the end, and with this one, we actually get into the northerly high pressure blocking over Greenland. Low pressure dropping south, a bit of a trough to the south of the country, bringing in the northeasterlies and the wind coming all the way up from the Arctic. Very interesting conditions and charts that we are seeing today. Upper air temperatures based on that. Once again, -5, getting into Scotland. Very, very cold for the time of year, and that would be pushing over the whole of the country. Just there. Right, let's take a look at something interesting now. So here is the upper air temperatures at 850 HPA and precipitation for London. And this is really interesting because, as we've just been pointing out with them cold runs, we have got some very cold runs in the long range. You go down to the -5 sort of area, which for this time of the year is very, very cold and could be a sign to come for the winter of 2025-2026. Right then, we're going to go through some ECMWF charts for the weekly anomalies, and we're going to see what we are looking like with this to see if they have got the same sort of signal. Week 1, maybe a little bit of a sign of retrogression. This is from the 6th to 13th of October. High pressure up there. It's cold for the east of Europe, but we don't really get much there. Quite mild, I would say. If we look at that from the pole point of view, you can see there is a bit of blocking, but not much really happening to take note of. Week 2, high pressure is starting to build over Greenland. Very, very interesting. Low pressure dropping in, and we are going cooler. Maybe a bit of frost and quite cool with that. That was 13th to 20th. Week 3, the 20th to 27th of October. High pressure retrogressing up towards Greenland. Low pressure dropping in. Very cold air coming in from the north and east from Siberia and the pole. Week 4 is 27th to 3rd of November. We are in extreme cold by this point. Very unusual for the time of year. Could be a teaser for the winter. Extremely cold. And I mean, Scotland and northern areas probably seeing some snow with that because we are getting into November and the cold conditions will be intensifying. And it's still around for the 3rd, for week 5, the 3rd to 10th of November. High pressure still set over there, maybe drifting a bit more to the Canadian side, but still over Greenland, Iceland as well. Low pressure dropped in, winds in from the northeast. Very cold once again. And the last one's not really much signal, so we're not going to take much notice of that. We'll go over to the pole to see how severe the blocking is. So there's week 3, a severe blocking over Greenland and in the northern latitudes over the pole. Once again, extreme blocking over over America, the east of America, and Greenland. Once again, it's there still for the 3rd of November, and not much signal for the 10th of November, maybe decreasing then. But that is very, very interesting from the ECMWF today. It's a huge sign of the winter to come, and it could mean that we've got some colder conditions on the way. Very, very interesting. Right then, let's go over to the Beijing Climate Centre for some long range. This is very long range. Let's try to zoom in a bit actually. This is extreme long range, and this will show us what they are forecasting for the winter from the Beijing Climate Centre. So, this is November. We have got, let me get the drawing thing up. We have got high pressure sitting over the country and to the north, and we're probably wrapping around the winds over in Europe here. We're probably bringing the winds in from an easterly direction. That'd be quite a cool, frosty and dry November from the Beijing Climate Centre. We're going to have a look at December now to see what it's looking like for December. Okay, here we go. Here's December. Very interesting indeed. These are the sort of charts you want for the winter if you're looking for a colder one. High pressure blocking in the north. Winds are coming in from the east again. Once again, snow showers maybe for the south. White Christmas possibilities. Dun dun dun. Very interesting indeed. Right, we're going to have a look at January. January is a bit more of in the middle, but could be more snowy, as we have got high pressure sort of in the mid-Atlantic, but not quite cold. Still a bit of blocking signal up there. Low pressure troughed over Europe actually, so that's going to be like over the top of the ridge there, or we're going to be bringing in easterlies or northeasterlies there. So that's still going to be quite cold, I would say. That's a pretty interesting pattern as well. So I mean, all months so far looking good. Can February keep the run going, or will it ruin it? Let's have a look. Now, this is an extraordinary chart from the Beijing Climate Centre for February. Look at this. Blocking over Scandi, over Greenland, retrogress up there, over the Arctic, everywhere. Low pressure's dropped into the south. Look at that. And that is 2018 like, if you know what I'm talking about. That is the beast. Strong easterly winds. Whole country will be snow covered. Absolutely freezing for February. So what is the whole outlook for the winter based on them charts? Let's have a look. So this is December to February. The whole winter all combined, the months. Look at this, high pressure blocking, extraordinary charts, low pressure dropped in, easterly winds coming in. That'll be a very, very cold winter, and this is some extraordinary stuff I am seeing today, and the signs are looking increasingly good if you are looking for a colder winter. Right, I'm going to get the swingometer up, so this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going for a 56% cold, 44% mild at the minute. And I'm saying this because we've had some great charts today, and there's signs of blocking in the short term. And what happens in the autumn can reflect what does happen in the winter. So I just thought that it is suitable today to put it up from a 52% cold up to a 56. So it was at 52.48 last update, and now it's at 56.44. Obviously this might change, you could end up flipping mild, but at the minute it's looking very interesting because we've got easterly QPOs and all sorts of other good signs as well. And go and watch the first winter update to take a better in-depth look at why we are currently ahead on the cold side. Anyway, we'll be having more updates soon, especially more winter updates. I hope you've really enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help and support me to keep growing this channel. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.